The attic door creaked open like a whisper from the past, unleashing a torrent of dust that danced in the slanting afternoon light. And there, amid the forgotten relics of a lifetime, stood a figure that made young Elias's heart seize in terror. Had always been told the attic was empty, forbidden, a place where ghosts of family secrets lingered. But this was no ghost. It was his grandmother, Eleanor, whom the family had declared lost to dementia years ago, hidden away up here like a shameful secret, her eyes now sparkling with a clarity that pierced through the shadows. In her frail hands, she clutched a rolled canvas, extending it toward him with a trembling smile that promised revelations capable of shattering the fragile world he knew below. Elias froze on the rickety ladder, his small fingers gripping the wooden rung so tightly his knuckles turned white. The air up here was thick with the scent of mothballs and aged paper, a far cry from the sterile cleanliness of the house downstairs where his parents moved like automatons through their daily routines. "Gran," he whispered, his voice barely audible over the pounding of his heart. He had snuck up here on a dare from himself, driven by the boredom of summer vacation and the nagging curiosity about why his father always locked this door with such finality. Now, facing her, he realized the stories weren't exaggerations. Eleanor looked ethereal, her white hair a halo in the dim light filtering through a cracked skylight, her dress faded but once vibrant, like the woman she must have been. She beckoned him closer, her voice a soft rasp that carried the weight of untold stories. "Come, child. I've been waiting for you." Elias hesitated, glancing back at the open hatch, half expecting his mother's sharp call to yank him back to reality. But the house below was silent, as if the world had paused for this moment. He climbed the last few steps, his sneakers scuffing against the floorboards, and entered the attic fully. It was a treasure trove of abandonment, stacks of yellowed books, trunks overflowing with old clothes, and in the corner, an easel draped with a cloth, hinting at hidden artistry. Eleanor led him to a small cleared space where a single chair sat beside a window overlooking the overgrown garden. She unrolled the canvas with deliberate care, revealing a painting that stole his Brea, the swirling landscape of stormy seas crashing against jagged cliffs, with a lone figure standing defiant at the edge, her back to the viewer, hair whipping in the wind. The colors were alive, blues and grays bleeding into fiery oranges of a setting sun, evoking a sense of raw emotion that made Elias's chest tighten. "This is for you," she said, her eyes misting over. "Look closely." He did, his gaze drawn to the bottom right corner where a signature looped in elegant script, Eleanor Hawthorne. His grandmother's name. But that couldn't be. His family had always said she was just a simple housewife, devoted to raising children and tending the home, nothing more. Art, painting, these were pursuits for dreamers, not for someone like her, confined to the shadows of memory loss. Elias's mind reeled. You painted this," he stammered, touching the edge of the canvas gingerly, as if it might dissolve under his fingers. She nodded, a sad smile creasing her face. "Yes, my dear. Long before the world decided I was too fragile to remember my own name. They think I'm lost up here, but I've been creating worlds while they've been forgetting mine." Her words hung in the air, heavy with unspoken pain. Elias sat on the floor, the painting spread before him, and listened as she began to weave the tale of her hidden life. Born in the Roaring '20s, Eleanor had dreamed of being an artist, sketching in secret during the Great Depression when survival trumped passion. She married young, bore children, including Elias's father, and buried her canvases in the attic when societal expectations demanded she prioritize family over self. As the afternoon waned, Eleanor shared stories of stolen moments, painting by moonlight while the house slept, selling a few pieces anonymously to local galleries to afford small luxuries for her kids. But as age crept in and her mind began to falter, so the doctors said her family had isolated her, fearing embarrassment. "They mean well," she sighed, "but they've erased me." Elias felt a surge of anger on her behalf, mixed with guilt for never questioning the narrative. He had visited her room downstairs occasionally, but she had seemed distant, mumbling incoherently. Now, up here, she was vibrant, alive. The hook of discovery pulled him deeper. Elias spent the next hours exploring the attic under her guidance. She showed him sketchbooks filled with portraits of family members he recognized his father as a boy, eyes full of mischief, his aunt, laughing in a field of wildflowers. Each page was a testament to her love, captured in charcoal and ink. Art isn't just beauty, she told him. It's memory preserved against time's cruelty. He nodded, feeling a connection bloom, a bridge across generations. But as dusk approached, a noise from below shattered the peace, the front door slamming, his parents' voices echoing up the stairs. Panic flared in Eleanor's eyes. You must go, but take the painting. Promise me you'll remember. Elias rolled it up quickly, tucking it under his arm, and hugged her fiercely. Her frail frame felt like a bird in his arms, yet strong in spirit. I promise, Gran. He descended the ladder, heart racing, and slipped into his room just as his mother called for dinner. That night, lying in bed, he unrolled the painting again, staring at the signature. It was more than art. It was a cry for recognition, a plea to be seen. Elias vowed silently to uncover more, to bring her story into the light. Little did he know, this was only the beginning of secrets that would unravel his family's carefully woven facade. The next morning, Elias woke with the painting's image burned into his mind. He hid it under his bed, afraid his parents might confiscate it if they knew where it came from. Breakfast was the usual affair. His father, Marcus, buried in the newspaper, grumbling about work. His mother, Lydia, fussing over burnt toast. Did you hear any noises last night? Lydia asked casually, her eyes flicking to the ceiling. Elias's spoon froze midway to his mouth. Noises, he echoed, feigning innocence. From the attic, she pressed. Your father thinks it's rats again. Marcus grunted in agreement without looking up. Elias swallowed hard, the lie tasting bitter. Nope, nothing. But inside, questions swirled. Why hide Gran up there? Was it truly for her safety, or something more sinister? He excused himself early, claiming homework, and spent the day sketching in his notebook, inspired by Eleanor's work. Lines flowed from his pencil, crude but earnest, depicting the attic's mysteries. By afternoon, unable to resist, he crept back up. The door was unlocked, as if inviting him. Eleanor was there, sitting by the window, a new canvas on the easel. You came back, she said, her voice warm. They talked for hours. She taught him brush strokes, the art of mixing colors from limited palettes scavenged from old tubes. Life is like this, she explained, blending hues. Messy, but beautiful when you step back. As they painted side by side, Eleanor revealed more. Her art had once caught the eye of a gallery owner in the city, but she turned down an exhibition to care for her ailing husband. Sacrifice after sacrifice, her dreams deferred. Elias felt a pang of empathy, realizing how much she had given. Does Dad know? He asked. She shook her head. He was too young, and later, too busy building his own life. The twist came unexpectedly that evening. While rummaging through a trunk for more supplies, Elias found a letter tucked in an envelope, yellowed with age. It was addressed to Eleanor from a man named Victor, dated 1952. My dearest Ellie. It began, words of passion and regret. I cannot forget our nights in the studio. His eyes widened. Was this an affair? A secret love? He confronted her gently. Eleanor's face paled, then softened. Victor was my mentor, and yes, my heart wandered once. But I chose family. Art was my escape, not betrayal. This revelation humanized her further, showing flaws amid her strength. Elias hugged her, understanding that people are tapestries of mistakes and triumphs. As he left that day, the painting under his arm felt heavier with meaning. Days blurred into a routine of secret visits. Elias learned not just art, but life's lessons, resilience in the face of oblivion, the power of creation to heal. One afternoon, a neighbor's boy, Tommy, spotted him climbing the ladder and followed, introducing an unexpected ally. Tommy, with his freckles and boundless energy, was awestruck by Eleanor. She's like a wizard, he exclaimed. His presence added levity, but also risk more eyes meant more chance of discovery. Together, the boys helped Eleanor organize her works, unearthing masterpieces long forgotten. One painting depicted a young woman, Eleanor herself, dancing in rain, symbolizing freedom she never fully grasped. Tommy's twist. He recognized a similar style from a book on local artists. Your Gran's famous anonymously. This shifted Elias's perspective from personal secret to potential legacy. But tension built. Elias overheard his parents arguing about the burden upstairs. Guilt gnawed at him. Should he reveal her lucidity? The decision weighed heavy as summer waned. The summer heat intensified, mirroring the growing turmoil in Elias's young heart as he balanced the thrill of discovery with the fear of consequences. Each visit to the attic now carried a shadow of urgency, knowing that Tommy's involvement could unravel everything if word slipped out. Yet, Tommy proved invaluable, his infectious enthusiasm breathing new life into Eleanor's days. He even brought snacks pilfered from his mother's pantry, turning their sessions into impromptu picnics amid the dust. Eleanor flourished under the attention, her strokes bolder, colors more vivid. She painted a portrait of the two boys, capturing Elias's thoughtful gaze and Tommy's mischievous grin with uncanny accuracy. "You boys remind me of my own youth," she mused, full of wonder before the world weighs you down. Elias treasured these moments, feeling a profound bond that transcended blood. Tommy, an outsider, had become part of this hidden family. One sweltering afternoon, as they delved deeper into the trunks, Tommy unearthed a locked box. With Eleanor's permission, they pried it open, revealing a collection of letters, photographs, and a small journal. The photos showed a younger Eleanor in a bustling art studio, surrounded by bohemian friends, her face alight with passion. The journal entries detailed her struggles, societal pressures to conform, the pain of hiding her talent, and the joy of clandestine creations. "I paint in silence," one entry read, "lest my voice be silenced forever." This discovery amplified the human value of her story, resilience born from quiet rebellion. Elias read aloud, his voice cracking with emotion. "Gran, why didn't you fight for this?" She touched his hand. "Sometimes, love means sacrifice. But now, with you, I reclaim it." The twist deepened when Tommy, flipping through the journal, found a pressed flower and a note from Victor. "Our child would have been an artist too." Elias's world tilted. "A child?" Eleanor's eyes filled with tears. "A miscarriage, long ago. Victor was the father, but I never told anyone. It broke us." This revelation added layers of tragedy, humanizing her choices. Tommy, usually boisterous, grew solemn, hugging her. "You're the strongest person I know." Inspired, the boys plotted to showcase her art secretly. They photographed pieces on Tommy's phone, dreaming of an online gallery. But reality intruded when Elias's father announced a family trip, forcing a temporary halt. "We'll be back," Elias promised Eleanor, who nodded bravely. Upon return, disaster struck. The attic door was padlocked, a new shiny barrier. Panic surged. "What happened?" Elias whispered to Tommy over the fence. Tommy shrugged, but later confessed he might have mentioned the attic to his parents in excitement. Betrayal stung, but Elias forgave. Tommy was just a kid, like him. Desperate, Elias confronted his mother. "Why lock Gran away?" Lydia's face hardened. "She's not well, Elias. It's for her safety." But he saw the lie in her eyes. That night, he picked the lock with a hairpin, heart pounding. Eleanor was there, frilier, but relieved. "They found my latest painting downstairs," she explained. "Your father was furious." Marcus had discovered a canvas Elias accidentally left behind, a family portrait with hidden symbols of her isolation. It sparked old wounds. Eleanor revealed Marcus knew about her art but resented it, seeing it as neglect during his childhood hardships. "He thinks I chose brushes over him." This paternal twist shifted Elias's view, adding complexity. His father wasn't a villain, but a wounded child himself. Empathy bloomed amid the drama. Together, they planned redemption. Elias would talk to Marcus, using the painting as proof of love. As rain pattered on the roof, Eleanor hugged them. "You've given me hope." The confrontation came at dinner. Elias placed the original painting on the table. "Dad, look at the signature." Marcus's face drained of color. "Where did you get this?" Elias poured out the truth, tears flowing. Lydia gasped, but Marcus softened, memories flooding back. He climbed to the attic that night, father and son bridging years of silence. Eleanor and Marcus embraced, forgiveness tentative but real. Tommy watched from afar, a silent witness to healing. Yet, shadows lingered. Eleanor's health waned, her moments of clarity fleeting. The boys vowed to preserve her legacy, starting a scrapbook of her works. As autumn leaves fell, Elias reflected on the human spirit's endurance, how art connects souls across divides. With the attic door now unlocked by unspoken agreement, the space transformed from a prison of secrets into a sanctuary of reconciliation, though the path forward was fraught with emotional landmines that tested the family's fragile bonds. Marcus's initial thaw gave way to awkward visits, where he sat stiffly, watching Eleanor paint, his eyes betraying a mix of resentment and longing. "I remember you locking yourself away for hours," he admitted one evening, voice thick. "I thought you didn't care." Eleanor reached for his hand. "I cared too much, son. Art was my way to cope with the world's harshness." Elias, witnessing this, felt the weight of generational pain, understanding that healing isn't linear but a dance of steps forward and back. Tommy, now a regular, lightened the mood with jokes, his presence a reminder that outsiders can catalyze change. As they cataloged her artworks, a new twist emerged, an old newspaper clipping tucked in a frame, announcing a local art contest Eleanor had won anonymously in the 1960s. The prize? A scholarship she never claimed. "Why not?" Tommy asked. Eleanor smiled wistfully. "By then, I had you kids." Dreams shift, but the clipping revealed Moria photo of the winning piece, identical to one in a famous museum, credited to an unknown artist. Tommy's eyes widened. "Gran, you're legendary." This boosted her spirits, but health issues loomed. Eleanor's hands trembled more, her memory lapsing occasionally. One day, she mistook Elias for Marcus as a boy, painting a scene from his childhood. "You were always drawing with me," she murmured. Elias's heart ached, realizing her art was now a lifeline to the past. Inspired, the family organized a small exhibition in the living room, inviting neighbors. Tommy helped hang the pieces, his enthusiasm infectious. Lydia, initially hesitant, contributed by baking treats, her way of atoning for years of complicity. The event was a success. Guests marveled at the hidden talent. An elderly woman approached Eleanor. "I bought one of your pieces years ago. It hangs in my home." Tears flowed validation at last. But drama peaked when Victor appeared, uninvited, drawn by word of mouth. Gray-haired and stooped, he recognized Eleanor instantly. "Ellie." The room hushed. Marcus tensed, sensing history. Victor explained. "A former lover, yes, but also a friend who had preserved her anonymity. She deserved the world," he said. Elias watched as old flames flickered, but Eleanor chose peace. "Thank you for believing in me," she told him, closing that chapter. This unexpected visitor humanized the past, showing love's complexities. Marcus confronted his jealousy, hugging his mother. "I see now." Post-exhibition, Eleanor's condition deteriorated. Hospital visits became routine, her attic studio empty. Elias painted in her stead, channeling her lessons. Tommy supported him, their friendship deepened by shared trials. One poignant night, Eleanor gifted Elias her brushes. "Carry on, child," he promised, tears blurring his vision. As winter approached, the family rallied, valuing time's preciousness. Eleanor's story taught them empathy, forgiveness, and the enduring power of creation. Winter's chill seeped into the house, mirroring the bittersweet turn of events as Eleanor's health faded. Yet her legacy ignited a fire that warmed the hearts of those she touched, proving that even in decline, one person's spirit can illuminate generations. Elias spent hours by her bedside, sketching her stories, each line a tribute to her resilience. "Tell me more about the sea painting," he urged, "the one that started it all." She whispered, eyes distant. "It was me, standing against life's storms. The signature? My claim to existence." Her words underscored the human value art as defiance against erasure. Marcus, now visiting daily, shared his own regrets. "I should have listened sooner." Reconciliation bloomed, fragile but real. Tommy's role evolved. He researched online, discovering Eleanor's anonymous works fetched high prices in auctions. "We could sell some to fund her care," he suggested. The family agreed, turning passion into practicality. An art dealer contacted them, awed by the collection. "This is museum-worthy." The climax came during a gallery showing in the city. Eleanor's pieces hung proudly, her name finally attached. Wheelchair-bound, she attended, beaming as applause echoed. Victor returned, donating a joint piece they created long ago. "For closure," he said. Elias saw the full circle of loss, redemption. But Eleanor's time waned. In her final days, she painted one last work, a family portrait including Tommy, symbolizing expanded bonds. Family is chosen, she said weakly. She passed peacefully, the attic painting by her side. Grief enveloped them, but her art lived on, inspiring Elias to pursue studies in fine arts. Marcus opened the attic as a studio, honoring her. Tommy became a brother in spirit. Years later, Elias stood before a museum exhibit of her works, signature prominent. He touched the canvas, whispering, "Thank you, Gran." Her story taught that hidden lives hold profound truths, urging us to seek, forgive, and create. The end, though her spirit continues.